Hey, welcome back to SK Lifestyle. Today we're going to check out a brand new 2019 Nissan Sentra S. This is a very popular, compact, fuel-efficient sedan in the market today. And with that said, I want to take a look around it, see what it has to offer, and give you my opinion from the perspective of an average consumer. So with that said, let's check it out.
Special shout out to Armando Cano from Manchester City Nissan. And of course, don't forget to mention SK Lifestyle at Manchester City Nissan to get the best deal you can on a brand new Nissan.
So my personal opinion about the front fascia of this car is that it looks very nice. Definitely designed pretty well for sure. There's some nice lines in the car. So, you know, this is more of the size of like what the Altima of the past used to be almost. Tail lights look nice. Obviously all halogen bulbs, incandescent halogen bulbs. No LEDs on this model here, but it all looks very nice. So even though this is a base model, you know, you're getting some very good design features with it. So with that said, let's take a look on the inside. There is no keyless entry with the door touch, but obviously you can unlock and lock here, and you have the door opener and the panic button. So we'll go ahead and unlock the car and let's step inside. So stepping into the car, you'll definitely notice that it's very comfortable to step into, very nice height. I think for just about any age, you'll feel very comfortable. And the first thing that you notice about stepping in here is that it's pretty well laid out. Pretty clean, you know, some buttons for your air system, obviously your audio controls and the screen controls here. And you know, it's a semi-soft touch here, little hard touch plastic here, decent size, what do you call it, glove box, goes in pretty deep. Got a 12-volt outlet here, some storage here, 2 cup holders, more storage right there. You got a USB and an auxiliary, and it goes pretty deep. You could probably fit like 3 or 4 water bottles in there. It's not the largest storage in the world, but it'll definitely do the trick. And down here you have your gas cap opener, hood opener, eco mode, traction control, and then you got, you know, buttons to control the display on the dash, the brightness, your mirrors, and actually trunk release right here up top, which will be nice, especially for older folks. If you don't feel like reaching down and trying to find where it is on the floor, you know, it's right there and it works very well. The whole layout is very nice. There's a lot of visibility all throughout the cabin, which I think is going to be very important to anybody that is looking to have a nice daily car that they can live with and commute with and so forth. So obviously take the key right in the ignition. Yeah, there is no push to start on this, but you know, turn it on, starts up. Turn the air off so you can hear me. And I'll have to say, the gauge cluster is very nice looking, very well lit up, nice about 6-7 inch display right in the middle there for you. Obviously you can see it's very cold out, 30 degrees. I'm actually thankful for that because it was about 1 to 5 degrees overnight. So you know, we're doing all right here. There is no Android Auto or Apple CarPlay in the base model, but it is available on this car. And you know, just some simple features. Obviously you got your menu button here, you can go through your auxiliary, a few other settings here for connections and so forth, your camera, which is nice. So that's pretty cool. You can already see out of the camera a little bit, even if you're not in the backup mode. We'll go back here, got some others, few different things about the display and so forth. So we'll just go back, and obviously you can see it is a touch screen. It's about the size of my hand. It must be about 8 inches. It might say on the sticker for the car. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Go back here, so you can dim between, you know, night and day mode if you want to, and if you hold it off or hold it, it'll just turn off, which is nice because some people may not want to be distracted at all by anything. And if that's the case, well, then you got that option, and if you wanted to come back, you just press the button and there it is. This car obviously does have the backup camera. You can see if you turn the wheel, there is no indication, but you know, it's still there for you, and it's better than nothing for sure. Pretty big display, takes up the whole screen. It's not really high resolution, but it is certainly more than adequate. It does have Bluetooth, so you can hook up your phone to it and you can talk through the stereo, and that's nice. So you can be hands-free. So going through the gauge cluster, we can see we got trip A and B, fuel economy. Right now we're averaging 28 miles per gallon. I believe the actual average that you can supposed to get is about 32, and obviously you can get up to about 37, 38 miles per gallon. No Bluetooth connected. Obviously it'll tell you about your driving aids that are available, which this one only has the front forward collision and braking, and that's pretty much it. So it is pretty nice. You definitely have some decent screens to go through there and get some information about the car. Of course, there's cruise control right here. I'm a fan, especially on my Honda, I have the cancel button down here, which I like more because if you see, like, this is where your hand rests, so you have to kind of reach up to get to the cancel button. And for me, maybe it's just because of my car and I'm used to it, but I like the cancel here because I can hit cancel, and then as soon as I'm ready to go, I can just lift my thumb back up, hit the accel, and set it back up again, and then I'm off and running. But I noticed a lot of Nissans have that. Our Pathfinder has that as well. But you know, it's all pretty nice, well laid out for you right there. And the steering wheel itself, it's a nice size. It's actually kind of sporty looking, and it feels very comfortable. Up here, down below, there's some nice grip. It's a pretty nice steering wheel for, you know, a base model of one of their lower end cars in their lineup for sure. So I definitely can appreciate that. And yeah, so let's take a look at the sticker, and then we'll take a look at the back seat and what kind of space there is back there, and then we'll take a look at the trunk, and then we can get on the road and get some thoughts of mine on how it performs and how it drives. So here's the sticker for the car. Here's a rundown of what this car actually has with it. And you can see total cost for this car was $19,780. Okay, so 32 average, 29 city, 37 highway. All right, stepping into the back seat. So I have my seat positioned right where I was sitting as a driver. I'm about 5'11". Step back here. Wow. So we owned older Nissan Sentra. Well, we leased one. It was a 2013. I'll be honest, I can't remember it having this much room in the back. Again, I'm about 5'11". This is where I was sitting. And if you look down here, I have that much room between my knees and where the back seat is. I mean, there is plenty of room. I can literally, I'm like lounged back now, and my legs still are not touching the back of this seat. That is pretty impressive, honestly. Like I said, I mean, they are making these Sentras as big as probably the old Altimas used to be, you know, back in the early 2000s. So, you know, it definitely goes to show that's definitely a plus. Now I'm looking back here, and surprisingly, there's some kind of faux leather on the door here, so that's pretty comfortable for the back seat passengers. Cup holders down here, a little bit of teeny storage, not much. Door up and down for the window, and that's pretty much it. Obviously hard plastic up here and kind of canvas materials, but it is very comfortable. The seats, there's a little bit of padding. I'm sure you would do all right. I'm sure very, very long trips, you know, the back seat might feel a little bit stiff, but again, this is an economy car, so mat pocket for the passenger side, and some teeny bit of storage here, probably where you can kind of rest your phone or whatever, but that's about it. And there's not much else to the back seat. There is no armrest here, but the back seat does fold down 60/40, so that's nice. You can definitely fit a lot of stuff into this car if you need to. All right, taking a look back here in the Sentra. The trunk is relatively deep, that's for sure. And I would say this is very impressive, again, for a compact commuter type car. I mean, yeah, can't really go wrong with this whatsoever. So if you're looking to be able to fit a lot into your car, be able to carry a decent amount of passengers and let the people in the back be comfortable, and still have a very fuel efficient small car that you can get in and out of places and not be that hard to drive around and so forth, this should definitely be on your list. So with that said, let's kick Cookie Monster out of the front seat, and let's go take her for a drive and get some thoughts of mine. What do you guys think? Yeah, SK Lifestyle. All right, Nissan Sentra S 2019. Seatbelt on, back in position, pretty good. I will say, I wish, as a bigger guy, I wish there was a little bit more room for like the dead pedal area, but really it's still adequate. That's just me complaining, I guess. So since I'm in an open area, I think what I'll do right now is just check out the turning radius before I really take off. So let's see, straighten out here, and let's just see. If I just turn the wheel all the way, what kind of turning radius I got? That's pretty tight. It's not too bad. Now obviously the steering is electronic. There's a little bit of feedback, but not much. But I think that's exactly kind of what people want from this kind of car to begin with. It's small, easy to turn, you know, easy to manipulate when you're in and out of parking areas, that sort of thing. So I think it'll be great for that. So one thing I noticed while driving this car already is, obviously it's a CVT. The CVT is actually pretty good. I usually kind of complain, like I said, we've had 2013 Nissan Sentra, and we also had a 2015 Nissan Rogue, both 4 cylinders, CVTs. They're all right. I think they've definitely been refining their CVT, because even people that want just an automatic car and so forth, you know, obviously this still has the drone. If you slam it all the way to the floor, you're still going to get a huge drone from it, but the initial torque that it gives you, the feeling of actually changing gears is pretty nice. It's not overwhelming, but it is there. I kind of like that feeling, and just the immediate push that the car gives you with about a quarter throttle is really nice. It's a little engaging. It feels a little more realistic. It's not as rubber bandy. You don't push it down and have so much delay. It kind of pushes right off, and I like that. So they've been doing a little bit of work, especially Nissan. So 0 to 40, and that's what I think is important for a car like this. I know 0 to 60 times is the norm, but normally people want to get up and go from a dead stop to get into traffic, and most roads other than the highway are, you know, 40 miles an hour is adequate. This thing does very well. You don't have to push it to the floor to get up and going. again, about a quarter throttle, and within 3 to 5 seconds, you're already at about 40 miles an hour. So that's really decent. That's really what you want, and it makes the driving experience in this car a lot easier to live with. You're not in a small car and then pulling out into traffic and then feeling like everyone's rushing behind you and you can't just get up and go. So cabin noise for a smaller car, base model of a non-luxury brand, it's pretty good. So the cars that they're making today, I mean, it's pretty impressive. Again, not an S-Class, but you are going to be happy with, I don't have the air on, I don't have the radio on, so it's just whatever I can hear. And the engine's pretty quiet, especially since I'm not pushing on it. The engine's very quiet. I'm getting onto the highway now, so you can start to hear it. I'm pushing a little bit. But just trolling around town, it's super quiet. And so, you really can't complain. Feeling of the car, now it is pretty stiff. Again, this is a base model commuter, so it doesn't like soak up potholes and that sort of thing, but it does just fine going through them. You can feel a little bit of the feedback into the wheel. I'd say it's adequate for what it is. So this is my first time on the highway with the car. Up to speed fine. Let's set the cruise control. Now this isn't adaptive cruise, it's just a normal cruise control system. Cancel, set. Now that I've noticed doing something else when I was messing with the menu. This horn seems to be pretty sensitive on this car. I'm sure we'll get used to it. But the horn is connected to this entire piece here, which encompasses all the buttons on the steering wheel. So you notice as I went to go adjust and cancel and set the cruise control, I accidentally hit the horn. I'm sure you'll get used to it, but I'm sure the car next to me was kind of wondering, like, what's my problem? What's my deal? Okay, so I like that. So I was going about 60, and then I went up to about 70 miles an hour. And what I like is it did hold the gear in that instance. So what do I mean? I mean that it didn't have to act like it needed to slam the gas and rev super hard just to get me to go another 6 or 8 miles an hour. That's one thing I noticed on the Rogue that we had, that was a 2015, and I don't really like that. You know what I mean? Like, if you only want to creep up 5 to 6 miles an hour faster than you're going, I kind of want the car to just push a little harder. That's it. But I've noticed it in like the older model Rogue that we drove, anything over like 2 or 3 miles, and it would just immediately basically slam the throttle down and try to boost you. And that was just annoying, because especially if you have like people in the back seat, sometimes we're on long trips, my wife's trying to sleep, and I just want to, I'm on cruise control and we're just moving, and all of a sudden I'm waking her up because the car's going vroom, and just bringing all the power of the engine on just because I want to go from 60 to 65. We're taking a kind of tight turn, about 50 miles an hour. Obviously some body roll in the car, but it seems to stick pretty fine, so that's good. I'm gonna try that again here just to be sure. So I got cruise control. So you see that? I mean, maybe I shouldn't have pressed as hard into the acceleration. It's more of a up rather than an in forward, but still, that's definitely something you're gonna have to get used to. Manipulating the buttons on here is to be careful you're not really pushing in, because again, this whole thing is connected to the horn. I can't say I'm really a fan of that. I think it should just be the middle part, where they got this circled right here. Car tracks pretty well. Again, this steering wheel, it's very comfortable. I really do like it. Hopefully the air doesn't bother too much. I'm gonna keep it on low, but again, it's like 30 degrees here in New England, so I need a little bit of hot air in here, else I'm gonna die. Yeah, so mean, the steering wheel definitely is comfortable, and the seat's really not too bad either. These front seats are better than the back seats. There's certainly more padding on the back of the seat, and it kind of reminds me of our Pathfinder, honestly. I think our Pathfinder is slightly still better with its seats, but it's not the compact cars of before where the seat was like feeling like you're sitting on a piece of metal and cardboard or something. It's just so stiff. I mean, on my butt, it's comfortable. I can feel the padding. Excuse me for a second. I just have to get over into the other way. If you noticed that, but it definitely has some passing power, so you won't be left in the dust on the highway, that's for sure. But yeah, so the seats are very comfortable, and the back is what's important to me, because that's the part that, at least for me, that seems to kind of wear on me the most. And I can feel right where like the lumbar is. Now I don't know if there's lumbar support. I didn't really see any, so I don't think there is. But at least right where, you know, you would have some of that, like, it's very comfortable. So I think for a small car like this, you would be all right, especially as a driver and passenger, to go on a longer trip with it and be fine. So visibility, back window, I know I did a little panoramic view before, but back window, I like the cutouts in the back so you can kind of see. I don't really feel like there's much of a blind spot anywhere. These middle pillars are really small. I like that. Even these front pillars, they've done a really good job at condensing it down to a small width, for sure. Yeah, I think you're going to be just fine. If you're worried about something like that, then you shouldn't have any worries whatsoever. Now, the armrest, obviously it doesn't ratchet or move or anything. A guy like me, I have a pretty long arm, so my hand just barely makes it to the shifter, and so I can kind of rest my hand here. My elbow's barely at the end of the armrest though, but it is comfortable. Oh, another thing, it does have the quick turn signal, so if you touch it, it'll turn the turn signal on for 3 blinks and then it cuts right off. It's always a very nice feature to have. Yeah, I mean, I don't have too many knocks. I mean, again, I'm not judging this like one of those car reviews where, you know, we're going to talk about suspension and 0 to 60 times and stuff like that. I mean, that's not what this kind of car is. I mean, literally, this is my mother-in-law's brand new car. You know, she doesn't work far from home. She does go on some trips and stuff. Obviously family events and things, and it's just a commuter car. It's something that you can feel safe in, get up and go, have no worries about, that has good visibility, great gas mileage, that you can feel comfortable in, that you're not going to have a problem, you know, maneuvering in grocery store parking lots and that sort of thing. And I think for that, this car has a lot to offer, even as a base model. And that's one thing I think a lot of reviews are going to be on, like, you know, the SV trim or you know, the high end with all the features and so forth. But honestly, not everybody gets those cars, and especially if you're looking for a cheap lease or something like that, you know, you may end up with the base model of a Corolla, of you know, a Civic, of a Sentra.
SK Lifestyle. Shout out to Manchester Nissan. Very nice facility in here. Really great people.
So even in our short time driving, we boosted up to just about 34 miles per gallon. So yeah, this car is definitely good on gas, that's for sure. And great people at Manchester Nissan, taking care of us twice now. Pathfinder and then this new Sentra. Yeah, so back to wrapping up this review for the Nissan Sentra. So I've had it out for a couple hours now, and you know, I've really enjoyed my time in here. Again, for a smaller car, I mean, there's definitely a decent amount of room in this thing for sure. Now, a couple other things that I wanted to talk about before I wrap this up. Let's see if the visors will move whatsoever. 3, 2, 1. Ah, they slide. Nice. So they got a little extension on that. That's always a good thing. One other thing that I think is important that I didn't touch on is braking. But I mean, there's not much to say about it other than I think they're going to be just fine. So I'm going 40 miles an hour and I'm coming into a light, so I'm going to stop late. Yeah, and I will say one thing about that. You can definitely ease into it. For me, that's one thing I think is important for braking. I don't like there to be a lot of play in it, and I also don't like when you just touch the brake and it's just like, and then there's just one mode to it where it's just either on or off, if that makes any sense. Like either you're not braking or it's giving you full braking capability. I like to be able to ease into the brake, come to a smooth, complete stop. But just as an average consumer perspective, if I was in the market for a compact car and I was looking to buy or lease, I mean, and I guess you could say we're a little biased because I've had Nissans and I've even had a Sentra before, but considering the market as it sits now, I would still have to say a Sentra would be in my wheelhouse. It would definitely still be on the list for sure. I definitely think, especially with a lot of the safety tech that's around today, I'd probably have to go for one of the higher model trims just to get something like that in it. But as far as power is concerned, I don't think the turbocharged engine is necessary. And if you got one of those higher trims, the SR or the Nismo, and you really, I mean, leave comments down below. Let me know what you really think about the car that you own one. But for me, this is more of like a commuter, a daily car, you know, something to get great gas mileage on. You know what I mean? So in that respect, it would definitely be up there. And again, it's come a long way. There's a lot more room to it in the trunk, in the back seat, up front. So there's definitely a lot to offer, that's for sure. With that said, I think it's going to pretty much wrap up this review of the 2019 Nissan Sentra S. I hope that you guys appreciate the time that I've spent with you guys today, what I went over. Again, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. SK Lifestyle will always get back to you. Really good at that. If you own the car, what do you guys think about it? But yeah, definitely leave your comments down below. What cars are you guys considering right now? Is this on your list? If it's not, why is it not? You know, that sort of stuff. We'll definitely get a dialogue going. I love talking about cars, so you're not going to bore me in the least bit. I appreciate you guys watching. Please like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe to SK Lifestyle. I would like to be able to monetize and get the channel up and running and grow the subscriber base. I'd like to be able to hit 1,000 subscribers by summertime. And I definitely want to just see the channel grow and see what we can do with it. All right, so I appreciate you guys watching. With that said, SK Lifestyle, I'll see you guys next time.